What's up everyone? In this video I tell you how I would have written the storyline of the Timeless Child in Doctor Who. Coming up! What's up everyone? Welcome to Sao Til, celebrating the awesomeness that is the TV show Doctor Who. On this channel I produce videos all about Doctor Who, from show news, episode reviews, reaction videos and fan theories just like this one. So if you're new here, please consider subscribing. Rightio, as you know, the Timeless Child was revealed in the last series of Doctor Who to be the Doctor. Yes, the Doctor has now superhuman powers to regenerate up to 1 million times. We've had up to 1 million Doctors before this one. And it caused a bit of confusion and a bit of upset in the fandom. Now, I recently did a video all about this and the fact that the Timeless Child concept was actually a really good idea. It was just its execution was just a little bit poor. And I thought, actually, you know what? I can write the Timeless Child idea better than the BBC because I am a super fan / genius. So without further ado, this is how I would have written the Timeless Child for Doctor Who. The Timeless Child is such a big idea that it should not have been revealed in one episode, but should have been drip fed to us over the course of a number of seasons. So the Timeless Child story arc is going to span 3 seasons, starting in season 11. For the majority of season 11 is going to stay exactly as it is. Might be a little bit less preachy, but apart from that, you're going to get exactly the same episodes in exactly the same order. Obviously, we know that in Ghost Monument, the Remnant or the spooky ghost psychic bog roll talked about the Timeless Child. That's fine, that's going to be the first reference to the Timeless Child, but there's going to be more scattered about season 11. Then I jump to It Takes You Away. Yes, I'd still have the frog on a chair. Can't believe I'm saying this, but yes, there still would be a frog on a chair. But if you remember, the Solitract, which was the frog on the chair, was quite an omnipotent, galactical, beginning of the universe being. And so I'd actually have, within that conversation with the Doctor, the Solitract talk a little bit about the Timeless Child in that conversation, and about the dawn of Time Lord society. Then I jump to the finale of that season, the Battle of Ranskoor. I'm not really bothered about all the stuff with Tim Shaw and all that kind of stuff. That can play out exactly as it is. It's the Uks that I'm interested in this episode. If you remember, the Uks were telepaths and they could build things with their minds. But I'd also have the Uks interact with the Doctor, probably at the end of the episode, to create a little bit of a hook, a little bit of a mini cliffhanger for season 12. And they should actually, I don't know, shake hands with the Doctor, hug the Doctor or something like that, and actually get a vision and actually say to her that the Timeless Child has escaped or the Timeless Child has arisen. And this bit of intrigue, and it leaves that hook there for the next season. Season 12 is the big one. Season 12 there's going to be lots of changes for obvious reasons. One of the major changes I would make is in the first 2 episodes, Spyfall. Now, foundation of Spyfall can stay exactly as it is. I wouldn't have Stephen Fry as the head of MI6. I'd save Stephen Fry for another character in this episode, which I'll come to in a minute. I'd still have Sacha Dhawan as the O and the Master, but we don't know he's the Master at this point, so O can still be in the storyline. It's towards the end of the episode that I'd change things up. So essentially we can have a piece towards the end of the episode where the Doctor on her own, so maybe she's sent Brian and Yaz off to do their bit and Graham has gone to Australia without her at this point, and she's alone with MI6, and she comes to the conclusion and exposes the fact that MI6 is not MI6 at all, but it is a group of CIA, Celestial Intervention Agency agents, or the Division, as I think now we're calling it in New Who. Anyway, this Division group is exposed by the Doctor, and Stephen Fry's character is actually the top man in the Division, the head of the Division, and they are there actually to hunt down a rogue Time Lord. Doctor ends up with the rest of the team, and they go after Lenny Henry's character, blah blah blah, they end up on the plane. Now, this is where we need to interject another scene and have the Division agents also turn up in the same locale and explain to the Doctor that they've got some crucial information about the Time Lord they're trying to chase. They have a positive identification. They show the Doctor who it is. She realises it's O. They tell the Doctor that O is in fact the Master. Boom! There's your first cliffhanger for episode 1. Episode 2 starts obviously with the plane crash playing out in the way it did on TV. Rest of the episode plays out the cat and mouse game across all the different time zones, but fundamentally we don't get the reveal from the Master about Gallifrey. The end of the episode can play out in a slightly different way that has the Division agents and Stephen Fry's character warn the Doctor that the Master is more dangerous than ever, and to forget all the connection he's had with his previous incarnations, linked back to Missy, and the Master is irredeemable and has to be captured at all cost. They leave, Doctor's a little perturbed, the season carries on as normal. Right, moving on through the season, I would actually remove the episode Fugitive of the Jadoon. Now, no, before you jump on me and say, what about the Ruth Doctor? What about Captain Jack? Saving them for later, not forgetting about them, but I take that episode out because it doesn't fit with this timeline of events. It fits a bit later on. So we remove that episode and we make the Can You Hear Me episode a two-parter. Now the reason for that is twofold. One, we can use this episode to drip feed more information about the Timeless Child through the Dream Machine. But also, I think that episode always deserved a two-parter because essentially you had two really important celestial beings from the universe of Doctor Who, and they were hurriedly introduced, hurriedly disposed of in a god-awful way, and they didn't really get the gravitas they deserved. This is how I dropped Captain Jack into the storyline in the same way we had in the Fugitive of the Jadoon episode. He transports Graham out in the midst of a battle or something like that. But we tweak the way he interacts with Graham, the way he gives his Cyberman warning, and actually overemphasise the fact that Captain Jack is actually involved in the cyber war as we speak, and that's why he's giving his warning to the Doctor, via Graham. And he can actually say that intel has shown that a lone Cyberman has escaped through time searching for the Doctor, or searching for Gallifrey, or searching for a Time Lord. Bang! That episode plays out again, however you want to do it. More emphasis on celestial beings, more emphasis on the fact that they talk about Gallifreyan society with the Doctor and say, not as all is not what it seems, Doctor, blah blah blah. A bit of more crypticness from these kind of characters. She never finds out what's going on, but we get a lot of information dropped on us in this episode that something is not right with Gallifreyan society, and it involves the Timeless Child. So the final three episodes of this season again play out in very familiar fashion. The haunting of Villa Diodati, whatever it is, that is exactly the same. The lone Cyberman being revealed at the end of the episode, and the Doctor giving the Cyberman the Cyberium, the story leading into the ascension of the Cybermen and the Timeless Children. Exactly the same. What I tweak about the Timeless Children is, when they're talking to the survivors in that episode, they talk about the Boundary and the Guardian of the Boundary, the dude from Game of Thrones, whatever his name is, but also that the Guardian is working with the scientist who's helping to save people and sending them to nicer places across time and space. So those two characters are built up a bit more. So the storyline will pan out exactly how it is, with the chase and the Cybermen reanimating themselves, and they get on the planet where the Boundary is. And this is where the cliffhanger will come out, but it will be slightly different. We'll have no Boundary sending people to Gallifrey, that's gone. Instead, the benevolent scientist, the nice guy who's been saving people, saving humanity, is revealed to be the Master. He's using the Boundary to transport the Cybermen army across time and space to attack the Time Lords. End of that one. Cliffhanger. Boom. Next episode we jump right in with the Master taking the Cyber army to not Gallifrey, but to a moon or a moon base or a planet that holds the CIA HQ or the Division HQ. He's now done a very classic Master deal with the Cybermen ahead of time. They will help him destroy the Division base, and he will help them take over Gallifrey. The Doctor realises she's got to go and save not only the Division, which she doesn't like anyway. She realises what's going to happen once they destroy the Division HQ. They're going to go after Gallifrey, and she realises she's got to go and save her friend the Master from himself. We get the intersplicing people about the Doctor infiltrating the moon base. Now the Doctor can get into the moon base because it recognises the DNA on a handprint pad, or she knows the code to the door. An eye scan lets them in, and she's like, well, how does this happen? Because I've never been working for the Division. Who knows? Season 13 so tell us all about that one. Or onto that thought. She gets in, she meets the Stephen Fry character again, and they have this altercation about Why are you chasing the master? What does he mean to you really? Because she realises there's more to this story than what's going on. She also then directly questions him about the timeless child, and he refuses to answer. The master gets the Cybermen to break down the defences of the moon base and manages to infiltrate the moon base, not before double-crossing the leader of the Cybermen, the lone Cyberman, taking the Cyberium for himself and the death particle and moving forward to a confrontation between the Doctor and the Master on their own in, I don't know, like a data core, like a Matrix data core, where the Master finally reveals not one story plotline but two. Firstly, that he has been an agent of the Division near enough all his life, he just can't remember it because they're forever wiping his memory. And most importantly, secondly, that he is the timeless child. So we find out, obviously in the same vein as what we've seen in TV, that the timeless child was found by the original founders of Gallifreyan Society, Rassilon, Omega and the Other. If you don't know who the Other is, search Lungbarrow and Other and you'll understand a little bit more about who that character is. Tecteun can be the Other, who knows, who cares. Essentially you've got a politician, an engineer and a scientist. So they experiment on the child in exactly the same way as you saw on TV, by killing it over and over again until they've developed regeneration, and they throw regeneration cycles into the developing society on Gallifrey. Now you can touch on all sorts of elements of the Master's storyline here. The fact that he had regeneration limits forced on him so that he had to suffer on his last regeneration time and time again, aka when he was with the 4th Doctor, and also again when he's with the 8th Doctor. And then we can talk about the experiments they did on him when he was the John Sim Master, and the fact that they used him to bring Gallifrey into Earth orbit. This can then lead to a really good standoff between Sacha Dhawan's character, Jodie Whittaker, and Stephen Fry's character. And the three actors you've got there, they're genuinely really good actors, and that scene could be really well written and really well done, because you've got the Master who's completely unhinged, the Doctor, she's trying to talk him down, and then you've got the head of the Division trying to talk him down for other selfish reasons. I would have the Master tell the Doctor to flee, to leave, and to say, maybe to have him suddenly realise what's going on and have a little bit of emotion there, and again another connection back to Missy, and realise that maybe he is doing the wrong thing, and give the Doctor just those 2 seconds to leave and say, flee, save yourself. She escapes in a Division TARDIS and leaves the Master, and the planet explodes, the moon base explodes, killing all the Cybermen, the Cyberium, the Master we suspect, and all the Gallifreyans who are landing on the base to try and fight the Cybermen. End of the series, and we've got a really very downbeat Doctor. The fact she's lost her best friend, her companions try to console her. I think actually at that point she can drop them off and just leave her family behind, because that really shows the impact of having not only that revelation of the timeless child forced upon her, but seeing her friend in such a bad way. She actually can leave her family on Earth and just disappear. You can, if you want, throw in a festive episode and it will still work. You can have the Doctor be captured by the Gallifreyans and put into prison for crimes against the Division. She manages to get a distress call out to Earth where her companions don't really know what to do. Enter Captain Jack. Captain Jack's flying onto Earth looking for the Doctor for whatever reason, and he can team up with the companions. This could be quite a light-hearted heist movie where they're actually trying to break her out of prison. Right, Season 13. Season 13 can really reveal the Division, aka the CIA, as the big bad, the big villain. We can start to see all the other things they've been doing across time and space, both before, during and after the Time War. You introduce the Ruth Doctor as the regeneration from Series 6B. So that's between the 2nd Doctor, Patrick Troughton, and the 3rd Doctor, John Pertwee. Her memory was wiped, and we found out that the Ruth Doctor was the Doctor that was working for the Division. So that can bring in some nice storylines with the 13th Doctor. She's trying to bring the Division down. The Doctor is also on a mission to find out more about the timeless child and where the Master came from originally. So you can really start delving into the past of Gallifrey. Previous seasons, for obvious reasons, Gallifrey has not been involved at all, and bringing Gallifrey back in the 13th Doctor's tenure sets her tenure apart. Rassilon's still out there, so you can always bring him back at some point in the future too. Right, there we have it. There is my 3-season story arc for the reveal of the timeless child in Doctor Who. What do you think? Do you think it was better than what you saw on TV? Or alternatively, have you got any other ideas? about how you would have done it. Stick a comment in the comments below and let me know what you think. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to this channel, and if you appreciate this video, please give it a like. Likewise, please leave a comment in the comments below and let me know what future videos you'd like to see on this channel. Sao Til is all about celebrating the awesomeness that is the TV show Doctor Who. I'll be back very soon with some more Doctor Who related videos. Until next time, cheerio for now, bye bye.